Good evening one and all, and welcome to my video. My name is Somil Shah, and in this video I'll be explaining you a multi-region architecture, active architecture that is highly available, right? So this video will be divided into following parts, right? This will be an entire one video where first we will be learning about the architecture. Then the second part will be essentially deploying a DynamoDB global table in US East 1 and US West 1. Then we are gonna create an API gateway Lambda, right, with the health check using serverless framework, deploy that in the US East one, then deploy that in the US West one. After we do that, then the next part would be Route 53, how to link all of that together. Once we do that, then we do a weighted routing and essentially show you all of this in this video. We'll be using a library called DynamoDB, which is a DynamoDB client Python interface, which will allow us to insert item into DynamoDB much more easier. So we'll create layers, all of that is there in this video. I hope you are gonna enjoy it. Let's begin the tutorial. My first step is essentially creating IAM keys, that is access and secret. Alright, so the first step of getting started with active architecture multi-region is let's get an access key, IAM access key. So let's head over to IAM and I'll click here. So I'm gonna be creating an admin keys right now. Of course, you can fine grain based on the permission you need, but for this tutorial purposes, I'm gonna be creating a master key just for explain, because I don't want to deal with permission issues right now. I want to focus on the content here. Okay, so I'll type the username as s.shah, or I can similarly say Saumil. I'll click on access key programmatic, click on this button, and I'll simply attach administrative access for now. So I'll click here, click create user, and then I'm gonna copy these keys on notepad. Don't worry, these keys are gonna be deleted after the video, so don't worry about that. So here is my access key and here is my secret key. I have copied that on the notepad. Okay, so that's that. Now let's essentially see the architecture and talk a little bit about that, and let's start building the modules. So here is the architecture that we are about to build on Amazon Web Services. So on a broad level, you will have a client, maybe a front end or a mobile app that's using your microservice. This microservice can be very critical, that's maybe handling payments or something very important that cannot afford any downtime. And you also need high availability, which means you can't afford any region to fail. If anything fails, you wanna easily move to a new region, right? So taking this architecture, as you can see, you'll be hitting up a Route 53 or a custom domain, for example, saumilshah.com. As soon as you hit that, based on the routing rules, either we have defined a failover region, failover model, or a weighted routing. If it's a weighted routing, 50% of the traffic would be distributed to the in the region A, that is US East 1. 50% will be essentially devoted to the US West 1, right? Each endpoint will have, each of the API gateway or the microservice will have a health check endpoint, which we are gonna add a health check in the Route 53. Now, anytime any health check is unhealthy, automatically it will switch or route the traffic to a different region. Now, the beautiful part about the project is the DynamoDB global tables. We are gonna implement a DynamoDB global tables. So we're gonna replicate the data in a US West 1 as well, which means whenever a request goes to the US West 1, it would essentially hit the DynamoDB replica. And as soon as the data is inserted into DynamoDB US West 1, automatically it's replicated in the US East 1. So the data is highly available, irrespective if any of the region goes down. Our DynamoDB backend is still there. The traffic would essentially, we'll go to a failover model, which means we switch over the region, right? So this is the architecture we are about to build. So the first part, we essentially got the IAM keys. Second part, we essentially showed the architecture. Now the part 3 is essentially building this global DynamoDB tables, right? So let's go to part 3, where we essentially build the DynamoDB tables using a serverless. Alright, so it's time that we essentially do our first stuff, that is essentially create a DynamoDB global table using a serverless framework. As I promised, I'll go slow, and this would be I'll try my best so that beginners can also pace up if they want to try. So the first thing that I want to do is I have created an empty project called multi-region, and I have created a GitLab repository here. So I will clone this and I will start writing code. All the code should be here. So you'll have everything, you'll have steps here. So I'll make sure that everything is well documented so you guys can follow the steps. So the first thing that I need to do, guys, is first of all, I need to open here in terminal, and I'll simply issue a clone command, and I would clone the repository here in my local directory. So as I said, I'm gonna go slow, but if you wanna go fast, please forward the video. I am gonna go slow here. So the first thing that we have is we have to configure the serverless framework, right? So if you come to this repository, and I'll leave the commands as well. So the first thing that we need to issue, npm install -g serverless. So this will install the serverless framework, so we'll write this step down so people can follow these steps as well. So we'll write install serverless framework, and I'm gonna copy this and I'll put this in the quotes, and here you can see now so essentially, remember, when we do something, we want to document everything so that when people are viewing the video and they go to GitHub, he's like, oh yeah, this makes sense, this is how we did, oh this makes sense, you know. So that's that, right? So now my first step is ready. Now I'm gonna create a directory here for my DynamoDB deployment. So I will create a directory called, so this will essentially hold my DynamoDB global table. So now I'm gonna essentially come to a repository. As I said, guys, you know, I'll try my best to go over the code, so don't worry, right? I'll go slow. I'll make sure that you understand everything. So now I think I have a repository called DynamoDB. I'm gonna copy the source code, but I'm gonna explain you, so don't worry. So we'll copy paste this one for a second, and I come here. I will copy the file name as serverless.yaml. So inside that folder, we'll create a file called serverless.yml file. Now I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna explain you everything step by step. So the first step is to create the tables, right? So before that, let's configure our serverless framework. So remember, we created the IAM keys and stuff, right? So we'll go to the README file. We'll copy this command, okay, and we'll replace the keys where it says XXX. So I'm gonna copy this over here. Oops, let me see if I have copied this correctly. So I'll right click, copy, highlight the one that says X, paste it here. Then copy this as well, highlight the X, and dump it here. So my command is ready. Now what I need to do, I'm gonna open this GitLab, and I'm gonna say open in terminal, and simply issue this command, okay? So this will update my serverless with the appropriate access and secret key, which is very important. After you issue this, you should say something called profile default has been configured, which means you're good to go, guys, okay? So now back to my DynamoDB deployment, where I have my YAML file. I'll collapse and I'll start explaining one by one what we are trying to do. Org essentially means an organization. For example, if you, whatever company you have, Google, Amazon, whatever, you can type the name. App, so we're gonna say multi-region active. A service is DynamoDB global tables, right? So I'll put the service name. Version I'm using 3, serverless version 3. Over here we have provider, which means we're telling it we're doing this for AWS. Now we have a resource object, resource, right? So this is essentially, you know, a resource that we're gonna create. I'm essentially here saying we'll try to go slow and steady here. I'm saying that I want to create a table called my table, and you know what, we can actually give some meaningful name here, right? So what we will do is we'll give this table so instead of that, let me see what data I was storing. Yeah, some email address, a fake email address, and a user ID, right? That's fine. It's a faker data, so so let's name this table as users, right? Let's name this table as users. Okay, then we'll say type as DynamoDB global table. This is telling that we are about to use a global table here. Okay, so now coming here, table name again will be providing users, Billing type as pay per request, which means I want to use auto scaling out of the box. Now over here, what I'm essentially saying that my table has a partition key as email address, which will uniquely identify my row. Okay, and my sort key is gonna be a user ID. That's my sort key that I'm about to use, right? Um, then key schema, I'm defining just a schema. So as you can see, email ID is a partition key, and this acts as a sort key, and together they both act as a composite key. Together the partition and the sort key has to be unique, which is satisfying the criteria. Stream specification, since we want to use replica, we have to specify this, and now I'm saying region as region 1, US East 1, US West 1, because my microservices are gonna be in two regions, that is US East 1 and US West 1. Alright, so my serverless is ready. Now what I want to do is I want to open it here in terminal, and remember I'm just deploying my DynamoDB table. So back to my readme file, all we are trying to deploy is the DynamoDB global. Then we'll create API, Lambda, PyNamoDB, all that in a second. So we are working on the first component at this point, and let's clear the screen and say SLS deploy. And now do mind, this might take roughly about I guess 4, 5, 10 minutes. Okay, we have an error and we'll try to fix that. Please contact support. This identifier reference to issue this one. Okay, stack AWS Dynamo global table failed. Okay, so the reason that has failed, and I have an idea. I think the service, because I have a account with serverless with that particular name. So let me try with this particular name. So let me try. I think the app name also. I think because when I made my account, and if I try to change this to demo, hopefully I should resolve this bug here. Okay, reissuing my command serverless deploy, and hopefully at this point this should have been resolved. Because when I made my serverless framework, I mean when I installed it, so the region under which it was configured was demo app, right? I'm using a free version. They have a paid subscription version as well. If you want, you could opt in for that. So heading back to my management console, if you observe here, I do not have any Dynamo table here. Okay, so I'm closing all the other tabs that are not required, so we could focus on one particular thing. Okay. So if I go to tables, absolutely I do not have any table, and I'm on North Virginia side. Okay, and as I said, we gotta be patient. Please feel free to skip the video when required, right? So all we are doing is deploying a global table here. Okay, I'm simply waiting at this point so that the stack is deployed. Now, once the stack is deployed, it's important that we populate essentially this with particular data, right? We'll do that in a second, okay? So, but let's try to be a bit patient here. So all this is doing is just creating DynamoDB table, okay? That's exactly what we are trying to do here. So let it build, and again, as I said, be patient, right? We will go slow in this video. There is no hurry at all. Irrespective, the video takes 40, 50, 2 hours. What's important, we go slow and everybody enjoys this tutorial is what is important for me. So I'm just gonna wait so that this is complete. And then we are going to populate DynamoDB with some fake data. We are going to make sure that the data goes to US East 1, US East 2, and so on. Sorry, US East 1 and West 1. And we are doing East and West region. That is California and North Virginia, okay? So I'm coming back, hopefully. Yeah, as you can see, the user table has been created. Email is the partition, sort key is the user ID, right? So essentially that's that. So I'm going to wait. DynamoDB standard, and here I'm just simulating any table, right? I'm just trying to show you the concept on a big picture, right? And remember, DynamoDB has something beautiful called tags. So if you have a lot of read-oriented queries, you could implement DAGs on the top of that. So yeah. This will take time, guys, so just be patient, okay? Also, what I'm gonna do, so this was DynamoDB deployment, right? So I'm gonna create one more directory here. I'll name this as DynamoDB Populate. So DYNAMO. So this will populate the tables with some data. And again, I'm gonna create a Python file called run.py. The job of this is to populate DynamoDB with some fake data, okay? And we'll go over the script in a second because I already made a tutorial, so I'm gonna take the code from that. But remember, you will have everything that you want, okay? So as you can see, the DynamoDB has been deployed. And the first step was to install serverless. Once we have done, now I think the next step that people wanna follow is step 2. I'll try to pull this off because this is little annoying. Is there a way I can? No. Okay, yeah. So step 2 in my README is create tables, right? So we'll provide the commands that we have used in this session. So we'll do this and we'll say cd, and you guys have to go inside this one, right? And then say serverless deploy. So that's your step number 2, okay? Hopefully you guys should be following with me. Once you've done that, then step 3 is to populate DynamoDB with fake data. So we'll write step 3. Okay, so for that, we need to cd into this folder. As you can see, right, I'm providing every single step, so and the code. So then please learn, guys, try out, okay? Don't all I'm trying to say is don't make excuses. Unless you try, you're not gonna learn. I had to spend several hours and days learning this. So you'll come here and I have a file called add data. So now we're gonna run this file. I'll click on raw and I'll explain you what we need to do, okay? So we'll click on run and then I have this code here. So before that, we need to install a library. So cd into that, and then we need to install DynamoDB. So we'll say DynamoDB pypy, and I'll give you the command as well. I'm providing you every single thing, okay? So pip install that, okay? So now once you have installed that, now you will say python run.py. Just run the freaking file, that's all, okay? So over here, we'll come here. Now we need to dump our access key. So for this project, I was using this, right? So I'm gonna dump here. So what is this doing? I'll try to explain again. I have an array essentially, which says US East 1 and US West 1. But before that, let's go to management console and verify. I'm on North Virginia. Hold on, you won't be able to see because my photo. So I'm on North Virginia here, and if I drop down to California, I should see the same user table with the same settings, okay? So if I head over here, I see the very same table here, okay? So so you guys should be good there. Now, what I need to do is, here I'm essentially inserting 5 records. So random region is equal to random.random. So randomly it's gonna select a region, right? I have a model here defined. So my table name is gonna be users, remember. So we'll say users. This will change here. Access key, and the region I'm selecting at randomly so I can pump some data. We'll try to populate with 10 items here. Email address, right? So I've defined the schema here, as you can see, and then I have faker library. I'm generating the data, fake email, fake user ID, right? Some bunch of random user ID, first name, last name, company, and region, right? So generating some fake data here, as you can see. Let's call this. So we'll put this in a variable called response, inserting into the region, and then we'll say, we will format this a little better. Okay, and here I would use the comma, and let's dump the response here. So now we should have some fake data here. Okay, so 10 items. So now I would right click and click on run. So given the access keys and all are okay, and remember I don't have any data. Okay, so I'm just inserting data. So if I click on explore, I don't have anything, but now I'm started the script. So now it's gonna randomly select a region, and as you can see, it's been dumping data, right? So 10 items, US to S1, East to 1, West to 1, right, into the appropriate region. So I'll come back to the table, click on users. Hopefully I should see that. So we'll click on explore table items, and if we scroll down, not return result, I think there is a small delay here. Yeah, there you go. So I have all the data, and as you can see, I've inserted data into different region, US East 1, US East 1, US East 1, right? So I have the data, and let's see if we have inserted something into the US West 1. So yeah, we did insert into US West 1 and some into US East 1 as well. So now we'll wait so that, oh, you have US West 1 too. You see, so I mean the data is there. If I go back to my California region, that is US West 1, I should see the same data there, because Dynamo behind the scene is replicating my data, as you can see. So data is there in both the region, right? US East and US West. Okay. So heading over back to North Virginia, heading to the user tables here. Okay. Now what I'm gonna show you is that cloud serverless script that we wrote to generate the Dynamo table. If you go to global tables, you have a, as you can see, you made a replica, right? So that's that, right? So the first two steps that we did is we created a DynamoDB table, and then we populated with some fake data. Now our goal or the target is essentially to generate APIs, right? Each API would be, deployed in US East 1, US West 1. Then we do, all these fancy stuff, right? So that's going to be the next step. So now the next step actually is to get Route 53. So I'm on my North Virginia. I'll try my best to show you the steps again. So I'll close this, I'll close that, I'll click on Route 53. For this demo, you have to purchase a domain. It's usually $12. So I would say pay the freaking $12 and learn it, okay? So yeah, come to registered domains here, right? I already have purchased one called saumilshah.com. I'll show you how to do that. Register domain, and now here you want to say Saumilshah 1995. It's going to be $12. You can check. So here you can see the domain is available. You can click on add to cart. This is not refundable. Okay. So that my address and things were visible, right? So yeah. All right, heading back to Route 53, assuming you purchased a domain name, right? And you will see that in the, if you come to registered domain, you will see that particular domain here. I already have done that. The next step is to register or issue a certificate. So come to certificate manager. Now we need to create a certificate here. I already have it, but I'm going to show you. Request a public certificate. Now here, what you want to do is you want to say, you want to type the exact domain name, and then you also want to say star. That's going to be dot. So this means that anything that matches dot Saumilshah, do that. Once you do that, click on request button. Okay, so this will essentially request. This will be pending. Now I'll show you how to fix that in a second. Now head over to hosted zone over here, which says hosted zone. I already have one, but I'm gonna show you how to set that up. Okay, so a very important step here is first of all we need to come here and delete. So I'm replicating exact same steps. Yeah, it's not gonna work because I have a CNAME here. I need to remove the CNAME first. So I'll delete. Click on delete. Okay, so now hosted zone, click here, click on delete, so that I can walk you over the steps. All right, so you'll see a screen like this, right, at this point. Now you wanna click on create hosted zone, okay? Now here, type in your domain name. This is my personal domain, okay? Tags, if you want, please add tags. Now, here is the step that is important, and a lot of people, I think, miss that step. You see these values here? You need to actually link this, guys, otherwise it's not gonna work. So I would copy this, come here to your notepad and paste that here, okay? So I've pasted that here. Now, head over back to where it says register domain, okay? And I'll try to zoom in because I don't want to show you my address. So I'll click here, okay? So you see this here, this should match that one. This doesn't match the one I have. So the way you wanna fix this is you wanna, and remember there shouldn't be any dots, okay? So we'll click on edit. Now observe this carefully. I'll try my best to put it here. Hopefully you guys can see, but NS113, I do not have anything that says NS113. So I'll start copy pasting here, .net, .org, .com. Okay, and then you want to click on update. Very important step. You have to do this, okay? So once you're done with that, this will send you an email essentially in a second or two. Now, once you've done that, then head over back to your hosted zone, okay? So all you're doing is just setting up your domain and Route 53 at this point. So head over to hosted zone, and now this is a very important step that we need to do. So your certificate will be pending. Now click on create record in Route 53, absolutely important, right? And here you will see the button coming up. I already have it, so it's not gonna show up. So it will say create record, and then you wanna click on that. Once you have done that, what you would see here is you will see a CNAME. I don't have that because this will take a bit of time. They're gonna send me an email, and once I get that email, I should be able to add that particular part, okay? So now, hopefully you guys got an idea on how to set up Route 53. We purchased a domain. After we purchased a domain, the steps was we went and we clicked on hosted zone. The servers that we got, we went to the we went to the registered domain, we click on edit, and then we edit those particular information there, okay? Once we done that, we create a certificate, we request certificate, and then you have to link the certificate to the Route 53. Very important step. As you can see, right, I did receive an email from Amazon updating the domain details for saumilshah.com succeeded. Dear, we have recently received an online blah, blah, blah. So they updating blah, blah, blah. Okay, so as you can see, you know, this email is important, okay? If you haven't received, your certificates are gonna be pending and it's not gonna work. Very, very important. So you should receive an email, and then we need to link essentially the certificates here. If you come here, of course this wouldn't work because so if I try to link this, this wouldn't show up, right? So what I'll try to do here, just to show you guys, this is no good. So we'll click on delete. So now remember, we do not have a CNAME here, okay? So I'll click on request. Next, now here saumilshah.com, we'll say start dot, okay, request, and now I should see this, but again remember it's gonna be in pending state. So list certificate pending, right? So now we click on create a record in Route 53, we click on that, and if I refresh, you'll see a CNAME here, which is exactly what we wanted. Now coming back here, this should change the status hopefully in 5 to 10 minutes. There you go, right? So that's how you link your Route 53 and certificates and all of that with domain name. So the next part comes is essentially we need to write our API or DynamoDB, whatever API, right? We made the global tables, now let's write the. So it's time for creating our microservices, right? DynamoDB is done, Route 53 is done. Now we'll create our microservice. So I'm gonna create a directory called MyC. So this is gonna be my API gateway that's gonna do the job, right? So now, since I need an external library called DynamoDB, I'm gonna be using some code that I had from my previous tutorial. So these codes will help me essentially build a layers, right? So over here, now coming back, and I'll try my best to show you all the steps that I'm doing. So requirements.txt. So I'll essentially go into my folder called microservice, open this in terminal, and I need to see what version of DynamoDB I have. Pip. So I'll do pip show DynamoDB. Okay, so hopefully this will show me the exact version that I'm about to use for the tutorial. Okay, so let's wait. Might take a second or two. Ideally, that doesn't take that long, as far as I know, my knowledge is concerned. What I'm gonna do is just put the library name, it's fine. So I'll go to again here. Oh, by the way, I think I have it in the README file. Oh, I think I got it. So I'm using version 5.2.1. So we'll come here, change this to 5.2.1, remove the space, go to the README file, and here is where I have DynamoDB. Change this to DynamoDB. Okay. Now I need to define my Lambda. So I'll define, as you can see, I have a scaffold here which shows all the stuff, how to do that. So I'll copy this. This is gonna be the Lambda. It's gonna be, yeah. All right. So we'll define our handler function here. Okay. Now I'm gonna copy the scaffold code over here in a second. Okay. So as you can see, we copied the scaffold code. So over here now you need to use DynamoDB that I'm gonna do. So pyna. So import DynamoDB, I'll do that, and we'll remove all these because we need to start filling up code here. Okay, so that's that. We'll say get, let's say, we'll do a get record from DynamoDB. Okay, that's fine. So the API will receive a JSON, right? And then we will write the logic here. Now another thing that I need to do is I need to have one more Python file. We'll name this as health. So this API essentially is a health check for API gateway. I don't need this one. This is usually used when we are using external packages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say health check. We'll do return. I should have copied the snippets. I think I can copy here. So we'll say so this will be a status 200 and the microservices are working fine. Essentially a health check, right? So I think I could do something better here. Could just name this as check. Remember, I still have to write my DynamoDB stuff. I haven't written that here. So that's that. Now I need to define my serverless.yml file. So I'll define that in a second, and then I'll try to explain you what I'm trying to do. And remember, I've done all these tutorials. All I'm doing is now combining all this tutorial into one stuff. So I'm gonna explain you what I'm trying to do here, hopefully, in a second. So okay, so over here, I'm using Python version 3.6. Service name, I'm trying to give a service name, so I can say we'll name this multi-region APIs. Okay, there is a package that I need to install, which I would install in a second. Then we are using a zip file, right? So it's going to deploy the code using a zip file approach. We'll take this comment off, right? And we'll take this comment off as well. So essentially we are, excluding all the other files. We just want to make sure that we only put Python files in the Lambda. Here I would need to change couple of things. Hopefully I do have my scaffold here. I think that was lab number, if I'm right, is lab number 8. So now this function needs to be invoked on an API gateway, right? So I'll try to copy this scaffold here, okay? Put this here. Now the name of the function will be I'll name this as get users. So this is gonna be handler dot get records, remember? So we'll define this as get record. HTTP path as /hello. So we'll say get records. So based on an email address, we wanna get a record. We can change this to a get request ideally, or we can make it a post request because it's gonna take a data attribute. I'm gonna make this API as a public, right? So I'll do that. Let me remove this one. Okay, so now that's that. Now we need to define a one more health endpoint, right? So one more we have. So this is gonna be, I'm using camel case here. Okay, you can use whatever you like. So get users, right? And here this is gonna be the health point, so health, and inside that we'll have a dot check. Okay. And ideally health endpoints are get requests, so we'll change this to get request, right? So all we did is essentially we have 2 lambdas that are gonna be fired on an API gateway. And remember, I have to still install this library here. So what I will do is I'll close this and I'll go in the top directory, click on open in terminal, and we'll copy this and we'll try to Google this. So we'll come here. Usually serverless tells you that when you want to install stuff, so you know, should be an npm somewhere here. Oh, here, there you go. God damn it. Okay, so now I'll try to update my readme file again. So we come to here. So we did populate the DynamoDB. That was the step 3. Now step 4 is cd. So you wanna cd into a microservice, right? And then we wanna say, of course, I have to write code. Okay, so SLS deploy. So that would be my step 4. Okay, so that's gonna be that. Now I still have I am not done yet because I am yet to test a stuff. So I'm gonna say so here I just want to test a get item, so temp. So I'll copy the DynamoDB. I'm just gonna copy paste irrespective whatever region, it doesn't matter, to be honest. So I'll remove certain code here, right? I'll keep this class because I definitely need that. Okay, come here and whatever region, as I said, doesn't matter. USD is to 1. Okay, so that's that. Okay, all right. So all I'm trying to do is given an email address, it should return some data, right? So I want to test that out. So I'll comment out all of these. So that's my user model. Okay, those are my keys which will go into an environment variable, and I'm just testing my code. Now I do remember that I wrote a blog in the past. So I'm gonna try to go to my blogspot and copy certain snippets out there. So DynamoDB help, right? So I did that in the past. So here my goal is to get an item based on a particular stuff. So I'm trying to see, yeah, this one. So I think the way you do that is query. Yeah, so that's how I think we use Pynamo, whatever. So for user in user model.query, and remember my partition key is an email address, right? So I'm gonna test this out to make sure it works. So given an email address, these are all fake, so don't worry. So user model dot query, I guess it should work. We can do first name. So the name is Stefan. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so looks good. And what I want to do is I want to use a tool to format my code a little better. I'm a person, I like to do things better. Black, I'll use the tool called Black. Automatically it formats, and of course this will be in an environment variable, don't worry guys. Okay, so it did format that. Now let's see if this works. Okay, so all I'm trying to do is, first of all I'm trying to do is just make sure that this thing works. So given an access key, I'm sure enough it does work, right? So if I just do this, let me see what happens. So given a partition key, I can get the entire row, and my computer is slow, so bear with me, man. So yeah, I think it works fine, right? So now what I'll do is we need to get the JSON. There might be a command to directly get an entire item as a, but I'm just gonna, bear with me, man. So here, did I do that? I don't remember. Did I do it in the tutorial? I don't remember. It's fine. What would have been nice? What are the methods I can? Is there a data attribute here? DynamoDB. Because I don't want to specify dot first name dot line. I don't want to do that. So let's see if I try to do a str method. I'm pretty sure they must have overloaded the output operator. I think it should print in a, hopefully. Nah, it doesn't like it. Yeah, that's fine. For this example, it's fine. Okay, so let's say I want to return based on an email address, I want to return the first name. So we'll say and we want to return the last name and the company. Okay, and then we'll try to test our API to see first if it works, and then if it works, you deploy multi-region, blah blah blah. And so company, okay, and I'll try to print this. All right, so we'll try to print this data and see if this works again. Okay, yeah, I mean ideally should be fine. Yeah, so yeah, it works fine, right? So now I have my code, I have tested things out, right? So what I'm gonna do now is come to the microservice part, right? In the handler.py, I'll try to, I'm just using these two, is fine. So in the handler, right, so I'll define my imports. I'll define in a try catch. Okay, so we'll copy the test code that we wrote. I'll define the class here. Remember, we still have to provide these one. So this will be coming from an environment variable. All right, so we'll remove that. Import OS. Now we say os.getEnv. We'll do and I still haven't defined the environment variable yet, so we'll remove this one, put this one as there, and format this, try to have the same thing here. AWS. All right, so that's gonna be that. Okay, and my Lambda, remember when I call the API, it essentially First for debugging, has been a while I've done some. So we'll do print event. What do like this? As far as I remember, I think it comes inside a body, but I might be wrong, as I said. So that's that. Now, if I remember this correctly, as I said, it's a JSON. So it's gonna be a string JSON. So we'll do a load s, and we'll try to do body. And once we have that, what we will do, we'll copy this code here. So remember, we want to grab the email address. We'll use the get operator, and it's gonna be email, and we'll remove this one. And if we find data, we return, else we return we'll copy the health check, okay, come here, wanna do a dump as here as well. Okay. So yeah, my very simple API, wait, what do I do? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's fine. I could have done this here only. Could have removed this. That's fine. And if nothing happens, by default, it would return the message. So yeah, very simple API, right? That essentially is gonna give us a record from DynamoDB. And remember, this API will be deployed in multiple region, right? So handler function, region value, yeah. So this is gonna be, I have to also make sure in my model that I wrote here, yeah, this is region, and of course the table name also can be an environment variable. Let's just put that, man. We'll use this one. Okay, put this one here. All right, so the API is ready, but I will clean the code here. Now I'll use black handler.py. Automatically it indents everything properly for me, and then I'll do healthcheck.py, so that would be also done. Okay, I have to deploy and I have to do some more changes, so let's do that. But let me just see if it looks good. Okay, it looks neat enough, pretty nice. All right, so now a couple of more steps. We just gotta define this environment variable. Of course, that can come in a variable called dev.env or blah blah blah. Well, let's do that in a second. Yeah, so as you can see, right, I have installed all the plugins and I've initiated the command SLS deploy. So this would essentially deploy my entire stack here. Okay, so we'll be patient, right? One thing that I have added is a plugin called .env. If you observe in my secrets, I put everything in an environment variable, right? In order to inject that, there's a plugin called Serverless.env plugin. So the next steps essentially in the project are to install that plugin, and here, step 4, we deploy the microservice, and I have set the command cd into this. We install these two libraries and then deploy. So now my microservices are being deployed. Okay, so let's wait until this entire stack is deployed to USDs 2. So after a long wait, finally my APIs have been deployed. It took a long time though. So now since it's deployed, I can come here and see if the health check is okay. And at the same time, my Dynamo also works. I gave in an email address and it's returning me the result, as you can see, just the way I expected, right? This was inserted using US to West 1, so it's returning that. All right, great guys. So the stack has been deployed. Congratulations. 80% is done, right? Rest remaining, right? So if you close that one. So if you come here to API, and if you come and click here, you should ideally see your stack here in this region. So as you can see, multi-region, right? So this is in US East 1, North Virginia. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deploy the same stack, but in US West 1. So I'll say, so I am gonna do one change here. So in the env here, since I'm deploying in US West, I'm gonna change that, and SLS deploy Now again, this will take a couple of minutes, right? So I'll copy this in a notepad, so hopefully I can show you. So we have a API in the North Virginia, right? And then we are now deploying the API in the US West, that is California, right? So that's that. I'll remove this one here. So that's gonna be my US East 1, West East 1, and now I'm deploying in US West 1. So deploy this. So now this API will have the same API, same microservices been deployed on multiple region. Now so again, the California is being deployed, the API there. So I'm gonna start building stuff here. So I'm gonna click on custom domain, click on create. We'll type somilshah.com. So I wanna add a custom domain name here. I'll select a certificate and then click on create domain. This will essentially link my API gateway to a domain, right? So now we'll click on API mapping, configure API mapping, add a new mapping. We'll select this one, stage as dev, and then click on save. So I've essentially done that. Right now, in order to test my scenario, right, since it's deployed in one region, I have completed here in my North Virginia, but I need to do the same set of actions in US West 1. So I'll wait for this to deploy in US West 1. This is gonna take time. And once this is deployed, then we'll do the same thing in the US West 1. So the API just has deployed in the US West 1 now. So I'll go to this endpoint and I see that. So I'll copy that in the notepad too. So here is my Word file and here is my endpoint here in the US West 1. So these are the two domains that I have set up, right? And I'll try to verify the same thing. Hitting the API, but from the West 1, the same Dynamo table. So need to remove this guy, need to send the request. Ideally, it should work. Remember, it took a little longer because this is in California, I'm in Stamford, New York, which is closer by to my region, right? So it took a bit long, but we got a response, right? So both of the APIs have been deployed. Now we do the same action on US West. So we go to US West 1, California, custom. Okay, hold on, let me see. Yeah, so this is here. Now we do the same set of action. somilshah.com, and here the certificate is not there. So I again need to do the same stuff here as well. So AWS certificate manager, I'm gonna go here and request a certificate here. So request, click on next, same thing, somilshah.com. somilshah.com. We'll click on request. And sure enough, I think it's requested. So you look at the region, okay? I'm on a different region. I'm not doing that in the US East one now. So I should show up here. So now, of course, this is pending. I need to again link this with my CNAME. So create a record in Route 53. And now my both the certificates should be linked successfully. Might take a second or two, or depending upon 5. Here you can see issued, right? So at this point in my architecture model, we are almost there. If I show you readme.md here, try to come here. So we deployed API gateway Lambda and Dynamo, this one. We deployed this sec block right here. Now all I need to do is just link things to a domain through DNS, right? So I'm almost there. So now I'll head over to Route 53 where all the magic needs to be done. So so this is a crucial part that we need to now do, linking of both the. So coming to the hosted zone, and now here the magic starts, right? We'll do the health checks in a second, but right now I want to do a simple, so we'll say, we'll do a weighted routing here. Wait, what am I doing? No, I don't want to create a zone. I already have one. So we'll come here, and now hopefully you should have your CNAME here, okay? So click on record, and we'll click on weighted routing, or we can do a simple routing first to verify that. We can do a failover model pretty soon, but let's do a weighted routing. So this one, sawmillshah.com. Oh no, this is gonna be blank because my API gateway is sawmillshah.com, remember. So here record type would be an A type. TTL, you can leave that to default, and you can define here. So here I'll say alias to API gateway. You can select the region to US East 1, and here you can see automatically it comes up. So here I'll say 100. Health check, I can provide a health check, but I don't want to do that. Evaluate target health, for now I don't want to do that. This is calling US East 1 right here. We'll click on the checkbox and then click on record. So now successfully we have entered an A type record with 100 differentiator. We do the same, weighted, next. Again, this is gonna be a new region, remember. So we'll select alias to API gateway. Now this time I'm gonna say US West 1, okay? An automatic, think I screwed something up here. Let's see, US West 1 California. Wait, did I select that right? Yeah, let's see, hold on. First, let's verify whether I'm able to hit my domain correctly, which I'll try in a second. Come here. So hopefully that works. Oh, I forgot the HTTPS. All right, so copy. Replace this guy right here. Okay. Oh wait, I need to remove dev. Let's try. Hopefully works. Yeah. So now I'm hitting my domain name, and essentially it's hitting my US East 1 region. At this point, I just need to add that weighted routing. Just something that I think I'm missing. So I think weighted routing. Let's try again. So I'll leave this default. Okay. Define a weighted here, sawmillshah.com. Okay, so here alias to API gateway US West. I remember why, because I haven't done the domain link. This part, yeah, makes sense. So hold on, refresh this one. God damn it, I gotta go back. Hold on. So yeah, I'm on US West 1. I do not have a custom domain name. So sawmillshah.com. All right, so here you go. That's why I was like, I know I'm doing it right. All right, so that's that. Now heading over back to my Route 53, selecting the region. There you go, beautiful. So we defined a weighted routing, and here you will say US West 1. We'll put this one here. And by the way, congratulations guys, you have a full-blown multi-region model. So essentially, so Try my best to draw here. So here you have your Route 53. When anytime a request comes in, it will 50% of time it's gonna go to US East 1, US West 1, right? So automatically you have your API gateway, Lambda, and your Dynamo, right? Global tables, right? So you have a full-blown architecture, man. So that's how you do that, right? So now if you had to plan to do a failover model, things are similar, I would say. So what we can do is, first of all, we'll delete these A-type records. By the way, we can verify. Okay, so if I come hit the domain, it's hitting my Dynamo global. Now in order to delete, first we delete the record here. All right, so in order to do a failover model, right? So we need to head over to health check, create health check. This is a tricky because we go to the Word file and we copy the first region, okay? Hold on. So now in order to build a failover model, right? So /dev/dev, hold on. What was the health endpoint? I forgot. Hold on. I think here. God damn it. This one. Serverless. Okay, so health. Come here. Okay, so if I do that, oh, it's a post. That's why. Makes sense. So if I do that, God damn it, what happened? HTML public data transmission. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. I know what's going on. Bear with me. Okay, bear with me. All right. So we'll go to US East 1. Okay. So API. Come here. I think it was /dev/health. I keep forgetting, whatever. So stage and stage. Click on dev. Okay, that one. So we'll okay. It's fine. Let's do this on a new tab. Okay, so that's that, and then I'll call a /health. It should work. Yeah, so that's that. Now we're designing a failover model, right? So what you need to do is, where did my route? Yeah, so over here, you need to put the domain name. So ideally, God damn it, this one. So you want to have this, right? Status of other check state of cloud. So put it as an endpoint, okay? Oh, was there a name, right? So we'll put a health check of US East 1. Over here, we'll select domain and we'll select HTTPS. Copy paste the domain for that region and port 443. Was it 443? I always forget it. I'll just verify that. Okay, 443 is SSL, yeah. 443 and a path would be, God damn it. So this will be /dev/health. So the entire, shit. Okay, so that's that. Failure threshold, you could define all that. I mean, so this is my endpoint and we'll verify if this works. Come here. Okay. Oh, there's a double slash here. Hold on. Need to fix that. Hold on. All right, that should be good now. Okay, hold on. We have HTTPS 2 times. So, oh yeah, this we need to strip off. And there you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's good. Good. So click on next. Alarm, I'm not gonna do that, so you just create a health check, and here you'll see the matrix here coming in. Okay, so you'll see the green stuff. I need to do the same thing for the US West one. Okay, I'll go to API gateway and now I'll switch the region. Not Ohio, I want to go to California. Okay, it's gonna load now. All right. So we go to California. Okay. I think I had in my Word file. So I think I can copy paste if it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Copy paste. All right, it worked. So I have the endpoint. Now I need to configure that. Why am I on Ohio? So let's come here. So now again, domain name, we'll put it here. We'll strip off, we need to put it HTTPS. Strip this off, guy here. Okay. Path would be dev/help. So come back here. Okay, and then need to verify this on a new tab. This is the US West one. Hold on, something is wrong, not right. Hold on. HTTPS west1.com 443 dev help. God damn it. Need to strip this off here. Okay, should be good. Should be good. Should be. God damn it. All right, so I think now we are back. Okay, so it's good. Click on next. Click on health check. So now, as you can see, we have both healthy. Now, how do we do an active failover model, right? So the way we do that, now it's just a game of playing with hosted zone, okay? So the way this works is you have your CNAME, you create a record. Now you can do a geolocation as well, latency or failover. So I want to do a failover model. So this would remain same, my primary domain, TTL, you can define a failover. So value or route to matrix. So we'll say alias to API gateway. We'll define US East 1, we'll define that API gateway. Failover record type will be primary here because that's my primary region. Health check, we can put it here, and whatever you want to put US East. Okay, so we define that. Now again, one more, we need to define a secondary when the failover occurs. So alias to API gateway US West 1, and then again alias here. Failover record would be secondary West. Okay, US West 1. There you go, guys. Full-blown failover model. Now, as soon as you know, so let me stop here for a second and then. So if I hit my domain. Okay, so now if I put this one here, God damn it, come here. So now if I put this Somil Shah, and now I'm hitting my primary region, right? So now let's look at the failover region. So I have a health check. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. Both are green, right? So as soon as a region fail, it would automatically fail over to the different region, and your API will be still working, okay? And the way we simulate this failover is we have to do manually on a Lambda, and I'll show you. So assuming my North Virginia US East 1 goes down, right? So we'll go to health check here, and by default, purposely I'm gonna, oh shit, I can't, because I deployed through serverless framework. Yeah, God damn it. So because I deployed through serverless framework, I can't like edit or tweak the code. I have to redeploy the stack, but hopefully you got the idea, right? So all you gotta do is I gotta put this as 400, and as soon as that happens, it would automatically do a failover, right? So the traffic will be all routed to US West 1, right? So it's that easy, right? Guys, I really want to say, you know, please, I'm not asking any money. All I appreciate in return is your positive feedback and essentially sharing and liking the video. This entire video took me about 3 hours just to record, creating labs, GitHub, documentation takes a lot of effort. Your simple like and a positive comment will make my day, guys. With that being said, I hope you have really enjoyed building this multi-region active architecture with me step by step. I do not think on any on YouTube channel you'll find such sort of tutorial which shows step by step creating everything, right? All the source code is there, so please check that out. And if you have any questions, list your question in the comment section. I'll be very happy to help you out. With that being said, guys, keep smiling, keep programming. See you guys next time.